from remote to main. So that is nothing but publish. So once we click on publish, so it will be merged from remote copy to main branch. So then it will be available for all the users. Okay. So for creating, so now we understood how Git or these things works. Uh, and there are different ways of creating application, the project. Basically, three ways we have. The first method is uh, it is not available for all the data centers, but it is available only for few. That is when you click on new project, if you see this last option, that is application extension. So using this, it just simplifies the steps to create a project. So in the next step, if you see, um, so you just need to give the extension name. And the important part for CX sales is whenever you work with a project or workspace, right? So your extension ID must be site underscore CX sales underscore extension. So this is the uh, extension ID we should use when we extend for CX sales. And for custom objects also, this is the extension ID we must use. So changing this or using a different extension uh, might not work for some components. So you will give workspace name, and here environment will be automatically selected. So this step you don't need to. So basically, it just simplifies, right? Workspace, it will automatically create from here, branch, everything, environment. So all in one step. So that is the advantage of this method, but it is available only for few regions. So we'll select the base application as CX sales. So here, if you are working for some service center or B2B service, right, you need to select another base application. Or if you are working for some HCM uh, application, so you need to select that base application. But the concept is same for any module or any pillar. So then you will select the team, okay, and then you will complete the project. So that is the first way of creating a project. Then a second method is if you go to the any of the visual instance with visual builder pages, and if you click on the user, right, so you will see uh, this link, edit page in Visual Builder Studio. So you can directly edit this page using this link. So it will take you to the exact page or navigation. So to this page. If you don't have any project, so then it will prompt you to create a project. Okay. Or if you have already a project, so then it will ask you to select the project. So then you need to complete these steps. Uh, Instance, environment, repository, workspace. So these steps you just need to enter, and then it will prompt to create open workspace. So this is a method to uh, how you can create a project. So the disadvantage of this method is because it didn't ask for the extension ID. So we need to change manually that extension ID. So for that, once you open the instance, you need to go to settings from the right uh, corner. And you can change the extension ID from here. Or if you go to the Git and main, so here is the ID site CXL. So you just need to replace this and do a commit. This is only for CX sales, for not for other modules. This is only need for CX sales. You commit and then uh, do match. So then it will be applied to it will be available. So once you merge, and this extension ID will get changed to site CX sales underscore extension. So then the third method is with empty project. So in last session, we have already created this method with an empty project. So you select empty project and then you will enter all the relevant information, team members, etc. And after that, you go to environments and then you create an environment and you add your instance. Okay, so dev instance or test instance, all that environments you will manage here. So after creating environment, so then you will come to the workspace. Then you will create new application extension for Oracle Fusion Cloud application extensions, new visual application for standalone apps. Then you will choose the extension ID as site underscore CX sales underscore extension for it's a case sensitive. So for CX sales applications. Then you will select base application. And if you want to associate sandbox, right? So you can associate from here. That means if your changes or if your object is or if your field is not published, but you want to still use that field in Visual Builder Studio, so then you can associate that sandbox to this workspace so that it will be available. Those changes will be available. Then Git repository. So here we have two options basically: Scratch repository and new repository. So if you use Scratch repository, so this is something like if you don't want to publish your changes and you just want to play, right? So then you can use Scratch repository. It doesn't create any uh, automatic steps to publish all those changes. So you can publish these Scratch repository changes also, but you need to build all those publish processes, etc. So that is all manual if you choose Scratch repository. If you choose new repository, uh, so then automatically all the pipelines, build jobs for publishing, matching. So it will create automatic. So you need to give the repository name and the branch name. So there will be one main branch, right? Uh, so from main branch, we are taking a copy with a name called branch one. So in this branch, we will work and then we will move these changes to main branch. So this is how we will create workspace. Then we will enter into workspace. So as we discussed it, so these are some, this is about workspace. It's a virtual workstation for working uh, with any extension. So this associates a Git local. It also associates which environment you are working with, and we can associate sandbox to workspace. It's a visual designer, so where we will just design our application. So we can just all the visual components will be available within the workspace. So it provides access to source code management commands. That is nothing but Git commands like push, pull, reset to head, merge. All these commands will be available from workspace. It supports preview. So you don't need to, you can preview basically once you make some change. If you want to preview, so you can preview from workspace itself. You can point to any branch or any sandbox at any time. So at a time, you can associate only one branch or one sandbox, but you can switch. So now this option, right? So this is also an option to create a workspace. We have seen uh, create a new application extension option, right? So clone from Git is another option. This is when you want to, if you have already the repository and you want to just take a copy from that, right? So then you can just clone from the main. You can choose the branch here. So if you want to copy the changes from the main branch itself, so then you can choose the parent branch here as main and choose the repository. So that is, so ideally or typically it will be only one repository. So you will just select that repository and then you will select the parent branch. Then from this branch, you will create a new branch. So that there you will give the new branch name and the development environment you will associate. Sandbox, if you want, uh, you can associate, and then you will create a workspace. So this is another way of creating workspace. And basically, once the repository is created, so you can follow this option only, clone from Git. So first, after logging into the instance, so so suppose first we will go to the first method, creating project. Uh, we we cannot show because it is not available for this instance. So it will be available only for few regions, right? So that's right. So we will go to contact object and we will open one of the contact. And if you click on this, your name, you will see administration and edit page in Visual Builder. Just click on it. So uh, now you can see some projects, right? So these projects are basically uh, some discoverable checkboxes, but you might not be in this project team, but it is discoverable. So you can ask, you can select and request permission, or you can create a new project from this option. Remember is fine and is creating. So then it will prompt for the next step. So it automatically created with some diff. If you see workspace name, workspace CX, it created automatically. So it didn't ask to enter the workspace name or the environment name. So it automatically created all these steps. And now it is prompting to open workspace. Okay. So now we will go here and then we can change this. Okay. So this is the, if you click on this drop down, right? So you can see some commands. Suppose commit, pull, push, reset to head, merge. So these are our some uh, Git operations. So if you want to push your changes from unsaved changes, right, uncommitted changes to a local, so you can use this commit. So if you want to push your changes to remote repository, remote copy, so you can use this push command. And if you want to revert, so then you can just use this reset to git. And this is the preview option. So if you want to, if you make, we will do this in some demo by changing some uh, pages tomorrow. But this is the option to preview, and this is to publish your changes once you once you do. So so two ways you can merge, or you can push the changes to mainline using some manual commands like commit, push, and then merge. So these are some manual operation. So or in a single click also you can do by clicking on publish. So all these 3, 4 will be automatically available in this single publish button. So, okay. And if you want to associate sandbox after creating, so then here you have a sandbox option. So you can use this switch branch or sandbox using the same option. So we can either, if you have different branches, right? So you can switch the branch, or you can also associate the sandboxes that are available in Oracle Fusion Cloud instance. So these sandboxes uh, will be available in under configuration and sandboxes, right? So there, whatever sandbox we create, so those will automatically see. So you can select even after creating workspace. Okay. So this option is something like to undo some changes. So you can use these options as well. So so this is the second way, right? The third way is by going into organization. So from here, we can launch creating a new project. So this we have already seen by selecting empty project. So this is another. So we have basically three ways. Typically, a project will be created only once by the project manager. So then he will share the access, or he will add the team members to uh, develop something to other team members. So usually, developers might not usually create these projects. It's a just one-time setup. So then we will work with this existing project.